Hey guys, this is Indu here. Hope all are fine at home. I'm so glad to share my teaching videos in this YouTube channel, and I'm sure that this particular video is going to help for all class 10 students who are vigorously preparing for board examination in this pandemic situation. So before we go in for video, please do not forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon so that every single time I upload the video, you will be getting the notifications. Kindly watch the video till the end because I have included some of the important board examination questions for practice. Our today's topic is going to be on federalism, in which we are going to cover the definition of federalism, difference between unitary and federal form of government, and the key features of federalism. What is federalism? Federalism is a system of government in which power is divided between central authority and the various constituent units of the country. For example, our Indian government follows federal system. So basically, division of power. So whichever country has the division of power, so that particular country is called as federal form of government. Here in India, we divide the power between center, that is central government from Delhi, and various constituent units. The constituent units are the state governments like Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Karnataka, Kerala. So all those units. So center will be higher and subordinate to that constituent units will work. So this division is called federalism, and this is the basic understanding of definition of federalism. Difference between unitary system and federal system. Unitary system, there is only one level of government, whereas in federal system there are two or more levels of government. For example, if you take India follows three-tier system, that is central government, state government and local self-government. Likewise, levels will be there, whereas in the unitary form only one level of government. Next point, subunits are subordinate to the central government. Federal system, subunits are not subordinate to the central government. Next point, the central government can pass on orders to the provincial or local government. Whereas in federal system, the central government cannot order the state government to do something. Why? Because it divides the power between center and the state. Next point, in unitary system, the central government is supreme and the administrative divisions exercise only power that the central government has delegated to them. So the central government holds the highest power in unitary form, whereas in federal system, state government has power of its own for which it is not answerable to the central government. It can actually discuss with it, but it is not fully answerable to the central government. State government can work independently in certain conditions. So this is all the difference between unitary government and federal form of government. Key features of federalism. Features of federalism is an important 5-mark question for board examination. So please do read all 7 points, which is mandatory to write in 5-mark question. So first point, there are 2 or more levels of government. As I told you in the definition, it should be more than one level, 2 or 3 levels of government. So this is the main feature of federalism. Point number two, different tiers of government govern the same citizen, but each tier has its own jurisdiction. That is, each levels has got their own power in specific matter like legislation, taxation, administration. Likewise, for each and every category, each tier has got their own power. Next point, the existence and authority of each tier of government is constitutionally guaranteed. So, as it is mentioned, each and every tier got their own power, and every power is constitutionally guaranteed. It is mentioned in the constitution that each tier has the power. Fourth point, the fundamental provision of the constitution cannot be unilaterally changed by one level of the government. Such changes requires the consent of both the levels of the government. For example, if something is decided by a particular level, for example, central government is deciding upon an issue without the consent of state government or local self-government, it cannot decide individually or unilaterally. Same case for other two. If local self-government is deciding upon something, it has to have a consent with other two levels. Then only it will become an act or law, right? So, any level cannot decide unilaterally without the consent of others. So, each and everything is interrelated. Point number 5, courts have the power to interpret the constitution and the power of different levels of the government. So, our Indian constitution drafted in 1950, more than 60 years we have crossed. So, whatever they have written 60 years before, it cannot be implemented in today's issue. For example, if you take cybercrime is not there in 1950. But now we have cybercrime, cyberbullying, so many things are going on. So, all that can be interpreted by court, because court is one organ of the government which is facing day-to-day issues directly from the public. So, courts has got the power to interpret the constitution according to the present needs. Point number 6, sources of revenue for each level of government are clearly specified to ensure its financial autonomy. So, unless and until you have the financial autonomy, the governance cannot function properly. So, each and every levels has got financial freedom to work individually. Point number 7, the federal system has dual objectives: to safeguard and promote the unity of the country and to accommodate regional diversity. Of course, India is a multi-ethnic, linguistic people are living here. In spite of that, safeguarding and promoting unity is mandatory. It is possible only in the federal form of government. Same way, accommodating the regional diversity. So, different groups of people are living in one region. In spite of that, under one roof, everybody must be accommodated under one constitution. So, all that is possible only with federal form of government. So, these are the 7 important features of federalism. Very, very important 5-mark questions, students. Please do read it. Here are some of the important board questions. Question number 1, what is federalism? Explain its key features. Question number 2, what are the dual objectives of a federal system? Explain them. Question number 3, mention the main difference between the federal form of government and the unitary one. Question number 4, explain any 4 features of federalism. Question number 5, how many seats are reserved for women in the local bodies in India? Thank you so much, students. That's all for today. Like my video, share my video, and subscribe my video. Bye bye. Take care.